Hi, I'm Shuchuna and today I'm going to talk about three books that you can read as a beginner, and all three are from coming of age or young adult genre, and they are very easy to read and has universal they have all three have universal story that anyone can follow and read, and they're very engaging, and I think this is a very good start if you want to start reading English books. The first one is The Perks of Being a Wallflower. Who hasn't read a quote from this, like, we were in that moment, we are infinite, or we accept the love we deserve? These are from this book, and this book was turned into a movie that was directed by the author himself, and I absolutely love the movie and the book as well. But let's talk about the book itself. I read this book when I was going through a tough moment in my life. I was still a teenager and I didn't know a lot of things were happening to me, and I was learning and growing, and this was really a tough time for any person, and that's when I read this book, and it absolutely changed my life, changed how I think, how I feel, how I let people treat me. This was the beginning for a lot of things for me, and I love this book a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot. And when I read this book, actually someone said, oh, this is the favorite book for anyone who starts reading book, but when they read more they start realizing this was not that good. But jokes on you, this is still a very good book. Not still, this is one of the best book I have ever read. So this is about a teenager, Charlie, who is going through adolescence as well, and he is in high school. The book is written in the form of letters. He writes letters and he updates about his life and what is happening to him. And this was really moving to me, like what we think as a teenager and what we think when we're growing up. A lot of topics that it covers are really hit home. And this also, trigger warning, this has sexual abuse, and I think not a lot of people will be comfortable with that, but this is dealt very beautifully and very nicely. I love this book. This is about friendship, growing up, finding your place in world, coming to terms with the fact that sometimes the people who love us harm us, and this is the softest hug in a book form. And I can't tell you enough how much I love this book and how much you need to read this book. I'm going to shut up now, because if I start talking about it, no one can make me stop. The next book is The Hate You Give. I stabbed the hell out of it. I love this book. This is also another book that I read when I was going through a very, very rough time. I was, trigger warning, suicidal, and I didn't find any reason to live, and I, not in a teenager way, I just wanted everything to stop, and I was really scared about future. I wasn't doing good academically, and I thought there is no point of living. How am I going to survive, and how am I going to grow up and not have a job, and all those scary things. I started feeling those, and I was just becoming an adult. This is a young adult book, and this doesn't deal with all the things that I was dealing with. This is completely different from what I was going through, but somehow reading this book healed me. It gave me the confidence boost. Very strangely, the story is really different. This is about Black Lives Matter movement, a girl who sees her friend being killed in front of her eyes, and that's how she grows up. She sees the world for the first time for what it is, and how she deals with the cruelty of the world, that the world doesn't care if you lose something. The world doesn't care for people who look like us, who look different, who are not quintessentially the superior race. So this is about that, and her friendship with people, and how they see the black community or the inferior race and all that. But somehow this book saved me, and it gave me the confidence to be alive and the strength to go through life. And I absolutely love this. I annotated the hell out of this book. I remember just crying and reading this book. Like I cried the I read this book and cried the whole way. And even though this book was and let's just forget it. I started saying something else. I love this book, and you have to read this book. This is really beautiful. And the last book is Kind of Sort of Fine. Kind of Sort of Fine. I actually read this book 2 years ago, 2022. Yes, and this was also tabbed really heavily. I love this book. I really love this book. This is one of the best books written, and we talked a lot about the female body and how the society sees us, our insecurity, our body dysmorphia. And I read this book in a time when I was thinking about all the male leads in a book are described as really hot, tall, lean, and have this gym body. And I don't really like that kind of body, but that's not why I was concerned. I was concerned that people say that young boys don't read young adult books or romance books, but how are they supposed to read those books if they don't feature normal body type? And in this book, the main guy deals with body dysmorphia as a male person. He deals with the societal expectation of how a guy should look like, and I absolutely love this book. And that's when my battery died. I was talking about this. I don't know how much I have said, so just let's talk about it. This is about a very crucial time in our life when we don't know a lot, but we have to make these tough choices, like what we're going to study, what we're going to become, what our lives are going to look like in 10 years or 20 years. And we're supposed to make those decisions and make them right. And it's really tough and a lot of pressure for a young person, and this book captures those feelings so beautifully. Our desire to make it right, our desire to be correct. We know nothing, but we are supposed to know everything with so little knowledge. And I think this is a very good depiction of that. The reason I chose all three books are not only because of the subject matter or how easy they are to read. I also chose them because they capture emotions and times in life that are very universal and crucial, and these are the feelings we all go through. We all struggle with making the right choice. And I think if you read this, not only will you benefit from the language wise or the story wise, you also will benefit from the decisions they are making, how they are choosing the right from the wrong, and what they are experiencing. And I think this is very beautiful, and I love these three books very much. And I hope you enjoy them as well. If you have read them, please let me know how you think about it. And if you haven't, will you read them? Bye bye.